today I think the lecture will be very exciting. The reason is because a lot of people has talked to me regarding and saying that, wow, you know, I love my coffee, but on the other hand, I'm concerned every time when I drink my coffee, I might got myself with a higher blood sugar. And I understand exactly what it is because I also drink some coffee in the morning. But I control myself in the sense of drinking coffee, the amount of coffee you've been drinking to not affect my blood sugar. And also, I want to make sure that if we really want to have some coffee, I also drink coffee that doesn't have a lot of caffeine. So I will share with you what is the things to do. And so today's webinar is a really good webinar because this is something that applies to everyone. And a lot of people just say, I want to have a cup of coffee, and well, how do you prevent the spiking of sugar? So this is today's webinar. I thought that it would be really good to have someone to at least learn about a little bit more on caffeine affected your blood sugar, so help you to better understand. 各位朋友，我係 Andrew 啊，我係今日好高興咧，大家係能夠有機會 get together 啦，學一啲咁多嘢咧，就係喂飲咗咖啡係咪真係會影響你血糖咧？其實呢個咧好特別嘅，因為好多人都唔知道原來飲咖啡咧，佢面嗰個咖啡因咧 caffeine 啊，係能夠真係 increase 咗你血糖嘅上升嘅喎，所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係會對你一個好有趣嘅東西，能夠令到你更加了解呢樣嘢，咁你就可能夠咧係可以多一啲東西咧。我唔飲呢啲咁嘅咖啡，有咖啡因嘅咖啡係咪可能夠幫助能夠控制我嘅血糖多啲咧 ？So 今日嘅會議講座咧就係講呢樣嘢啦。咁所以變咗嚟講係對我哋各位咧都可能夠係更加多啲能夠了解啦，同埋更加係幫助你咧係可以俾到一個好啲嘅 information， 咁你就能夠manage 血糖咧更加理想嘅。So today's webinar I think will be really good to let everybody have a better understanding. You know, drinking coffee, how you can able to does it really increase your blood sugar? If it does, what can we do to continue to enjoy a cup of coffee but not increase your blood sugar? That's what our objective today. And I'm very happy to see many of my new friends from Hong Kong, Singapore, USA, Hawaii, Canada. Gordon, thank you coming back, and Wason, thank you very much for seeing you again. And quite a few people from all different parts of the world. It's really amazing to thousands of miles, but we get able to get everyone from different places to actually all enjoy some knowledge to help you to better manage your blood sugar. 各位朋友真係好高興咧，能夠第一我哋咁遠嘅地方咧，而家有香港啦，有美國啦、夏威夷啦，有加拿大啦、菲律賓啦。新加坡、馬來西亞咁多人一齊坐埋咧，係更加了解。咁我哋今日依家就開始上呢個堂咧，就能夠令到大家可以更加了解乜嘢叫做飲咖啡能夠increase 即係增加咗你嘅血糖嘅影響嘅。咁呢個係一個特別好嘅webinar 啦。咁我依家就俾個 slide 大家可以睇到，係咪可以做呢樣先 ？OK 得。Okay, good. All right. 大家睇到我哋而家個 slide 啦，係咪？Okay, good. Okay, so today's lecture we say, does drinking coffee affect your blood sugar? Okay, I can tell you, if you drink caffeinated coffee, it will affect your blood sugar. And today we have quite a few new clients here, and so I really like to basically catch up for them. Now, some of you already heard about this. But I found that a lot of people did actually told me that it's good to continue to repeat so they can able to get that information in their heart, and so they can continue to sort of remind themselves. As you know, I mentioned before in previous lecture, diabetic is a disease that is a chronic disease, and you won't get well. You can only control, and the way you can control is only by dieting. Exercise, weight control, measure blood sugar, and also sort of listen to webinar to help you better understanding what the control is going to be. The more important is really you have to control your blood sugar. Now, blood sugar is one thing. Is how do you measure your blood sugar? All doctors measure the same thing. It's called the A1C. So remember, from now on, everybody when you listen, go to the doctor, look at the A1C. If you are 6.4 below, you are considered and 5.7, 6.4, you are considered a pre-diabetic, and 6.4 over, you are a diabetes. So really, at the end of the day, how do you prevent that? Dieting is really, at the end of the day, very limited white food, like for example, bread, rice, and then you really cannot drink a lot of soda, juice. All those things will really help you to eliminate or decrease your blood sugar. So that way you will continue to be healthy along the way. Certainly drinking Lowsutea does help. So we'll talk more about later on, and also many classes will talk about diet and help you to better understand why dieting is so important. But really more important, you have to understand there are 4 stages from your pre-diabetic to diabetes. The first stage is when your LDL goes up. Your LDL is a cholesterol that goes up and will damage your B cells. From the insulin comes out, the B cells, the cells that take the sugar into the cell. When that B cell damage, you have more and more insulin coming out, but the B cell doesn't work as well. So net result, your blood sugar also goes up. So your blood sugar goes up, cholesterol is also up there. A second stage will come in line, and that is the most problem for many people don't know, because you're going to start forming plaque throughout the vessels. And when you form plaque throughout the vessels, that is where the detrimental, as you go on as a diabetes, and they'll create problem for you as a patient, because if you continue a lot of this plaque coming up, then you're going to start getting things like clogging of blood vessels everywhere. And in years to come, in 10 years, that problem will come in tremendously, and you will see later, a few slides later, you have all kind of diabetic complication will come along. So that's your second stage. And second stage, because of plaqued up, your blood pressure will goes up. So first stage, cholesterol go up. Second stage, when the blood and cholesterol become thick, your blood pressure goes up. Now it will start moving to the third stage, because as we move on, your blood sugar continue goes up. And then we'll always measure, remember what we had is called A1C, hemoglobin A1C. Hemoglobin A1C is everybody has hemoglobin. It's a red blood cells where they measure the amount of sugar, percentage amount of sugar attaching to the cell. So if you're a normal person, you should not have more than 5.7% of sugar attached to this red blood cell. If you have gone up to a pre-diabetic stage, you will have a hemoglobin blood cells with a percentage of between 5.7 to 6.4. That is considered a pre-diabetic, because you have percentage sugar now in a range where your sugar continue goes up, and it attached to the hemoglobin between 5.7 and 6. So this is called pre-diabetic stage. So that's stage 3. Now, then if you continue, don't do anything, and I'm not controlling my diet, I'm not exercising, my weight is continuing the same, then the fourth stage will come. The fourth stage is what? You will now, with the A1C beyond 6.4, be 5.7, 6.5 and 6.7, all the way up to 7 up, all the way to 10 and up. Then you became a diabetes. And with that, you have all kind of problems come along, okay? So everybody go through this 4th stage. That's why I want to continue talk about it, so you can able to understand your 4th stage of diabetes, so you can able to manage diabetes more effectively. 嗱，各位朋友，記住每一個人咧都有4個時間咧係去變咗糖尿病嘅。第一個時間就係當你呢個 LDL 嘅膽固醇上升嘅時候咧，咁你咧就會損壞咗嗰個胰島素出嚟嗰啲 B cell。B cell 係帶啲糖入去個細胞裏邊嘅。如果損壞咗，咁啊胰島素繼續出堆B cell 出嚟啦，咁你個 insulin 咧，你嘅胰島素咧就會有一個抗拒叫做 insulin resistance， 咁亦都唔會 sensitive。咁但係咧你糖嘅高喎，因為你帶唔到入去啊嘛。咁同埋咧你呢個膽固醇亦都喺度咧，咁加埋啲糖量加埋晒咧，咁你個結血咧就會好結。咁呢個就變咗 stage 2，因為你血結咧結嘅時候咧，咁你嘅血壓就可以慢慢上升。嗱，其實每一個人咧最大問題咧，當你有依樣嘢嘅時候咧，就係呢個長遠一落去咧，你個全身嘅血管咧都係咁塞係咁塞。咁當你10年塞完之後咧，咁你嗰啲後遺症咧就會出晒嚟㗎啦，就一路慢慢出嚟。咁所以變咗嚟講，糖尿病最大問題就係依度開始就係塞晒所有全身嘅血管。頭胎冇問題喎，因為你見唔到有咩問題。但係後咧15年咧，你就會好大問題。依個最大。咁你第二個 stage 咧，你血管個血壓就會上升嘅。咁第3個 stage 咧，你糖嘅上升啦。咁我哋咧就係全世界嘅醫生都係 measure 一樣嘢叫做糖化血血蛋白嗰個cells 叫做hemoglobin。咁呢 hemoglobin 咧係會將嗰啲糖幾多 percent attach 喺個 hemoglobin 嗰度嘅。咁如果你係有 5.7% 咧，咁其實你係正常人啦。當你係前期患病咧，就 5.7 至 6.4 之間。咁如果你乜嘢唔做啦，咁繼續係又唔 diet 又唔 exercise 又繼續重磅，咁你好快脆咧，就2-3年後咧，你就會變咗係過咗 6.5 以上嘅A1C。咁如果講 5.4咧，咁你就已經糖尿病啫。嗱，醫生咧多數俾多半年你去睇下控制你去轉翻落去 6.4 以下。但係你轉唔到咧，多數咧就叫你你嘅糖尿病，以後都係糖尿病啦。咁呢個有呢個 record 之後，以後都會係呢個 record 就唔會改變嘅。So you really don't want to put yourself into the stage your A1C is over 6.5 because once you over 6.5, you have become a permanent diabetes person. Okay, now. Why there's a ask to drink Lowsutea, especially for people who are pre-diabetic? Because when you're pre-diabetic, you have no medication to take. The doctor usually or the nurse usually say, hey, you know, your blood sugar is going up, your A1C is beyond 5.7 already. You are in pre-diabetic state between 5.7 to 6.4. So you gotta start controlling your diet and maybe do some exercise. Unfortunately, the education I see in most Hong Kong government or whatever public health or the private sector, the teaching is usually give you 1 class or 2 class, but really at the end of the day, do you remember everything? To be honest, majority of people do not. They will kind of forgot, and net result since they've forgotten, and that's why I felt that I have really should do something for the public for education. So I really felt that we have this webinar to help everybody better understanding how to manage diabetes rather than you just sort of say, okay, doctors should be able to tell you, because majority of people will not get a proper information or they would not know what is pre-diabetic criteria, or if they have diabetes on a very early stage, what they can do to reverse back. Can they do that? Nobody really have actually give them information. Now, you have pre-diabetic stage, you have a good chance actually not to become diabetic. And you know, in the world, there's 1.3 billion people are pre-diabetic, and majority of them really do not know how to control and move them not to continue move up the scale to become a diabetes. So I hope with that, one, you can control that by diet, exercise, and also your weight control, and that will able to reverse back to, if you are close to 6.4, go back to 5.7 and below. And you can actually drink Lowsutea. Definitely will help you to control your blood sugar and help you to, if you can do, and besides that, you have controlled diet and all that. I see so many of my clients actually come down to under 5.7 or between 6 and 5.7, and they stay that state for long period of time. That will be really wonderful. I'm doing my job. The reason why I say that is because now you are no longer have the risk of become a diabetic patient, and you have a lot of so-called long-term health issue. Now, the reason why we want to ask our client to think about Lowsutea is because Lowsutea have two category, two product ingredient there. One is they have guava leaf, which help to delay the absorption of the sugar entering the gut vessels. Okay, so you have less sugar going there. Secondly, we have bitter melon. Bitter melon is helping the with the insulin to increase its sensitivity. So when the insulin increases sensitivity, they take more sugar into the cells. That's what exactly insulin want to do. So you increase the insulin because many of the people, you got to realize, they are being diabetic. They have high insulin resistance. So if we can increase the sensitivity and more sugar going to the cell, that will be good for you to better control your blood sugar. And then when you have excess blood sugar, there's one thing nice about bitter melon is also it takes sugar, cholesterol, sodium, and out through the urine. And that result, when that happens, you have lower your blood sugar, lower your cholesterol, you lower your blood pressure, and detox. And many people use Lowsutea. They also see the swelling of the foot is much lower. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And all you got to do is just drink 8 cups of tea, and you don't have to do much. It's not a drug. It's just something that is totally 100% natural to help you to lower blood sugar and lower your cholesterol, blood pressure, your 3 highs, so to speak, and also detox. And a lot of the young folks also drink this. It's really good, because the detox function, the pimple is less, and the blood sugar is lower, and they feel much more healthy and cleaner. That's the comments of all my clients. Okay， 嗱，各位朋友，其實咧，去糖茶點解會幫助我哋嘅糖尿患病者，或者前期患病者，或者淨係有三高嘅人士咧？個原因第一就係佢有一個叫做番石榴葉啦，係將嗰啲糖咧係減慢咗佢血吸收入血管裏邊。咁仲有咧。呢個苦瓜咧有個好特別 function 咧，就係將嗰啲胰島素嘅 B cells 同埋佢嘅 insulin 咧，係佢唔會有咁大嘅抗拒啦，increase 咗佢嘅敏感度啦，咁啊帶翻啲糖咧入去細胞裏邊，仲有咧就擺好多糖，如果係有好多糖出嚟嘅時候咧，佢喺個尿嗰度就掉出嚟，同埋個 cholesterol 咧又掉埋出嚟，即係嗰個膽固醇啊，咁同埋咧啲鹽咧掉埋出嚟。當你做呢三樣掉出嚟嘅時候咧，佢就降低咗糖啦、膽固醇啦，同埋呢個血壓啦，仲有咧去排毒。咁變咗嚟講咧，所以點解好多年青人飲咗之後咧，哇！我冇咗好多暗瘡喎，又覺得好似乾淨咗個人舒服咗。呢個就係咁原因。所以其實去糖茶好有用。咁其實仲有去糖茶點樣有用咧？因為當你係前期患病者係冇藥食嘅喎，咁冇藥食嘅時候咧，佢哋就需要啲咩嘢啊？佢需要真係有啲嘢能夠幫助佢啦。咁我當然咧，我依家係教咗你好多食 diet 啦、exercise 去磅醋去控制啊。咁仲有一樣係幫到你飲茶，好簡單，你飲8杯茶，咁你就已經做到呢個效果。咁其實飲茶咧，好似飲水一樣啦，你唔飲水飲茶啫，咁係好容易幫到你。But if you really do not do anything, like which a lot of people do, I said to say, a lot of people say, hey, I'm not doing anything. Okay, my question is, if you don't do anything to control, what's going to happen is, right now, when you're pre-diabetic or diabetes, first couple of years, you might not feel anything. But if not, you don't feel anything now, eventually it will feel. You know why? Because it's going to strike you, but suddenly, wow, it will come in a more gradual, but once you comes in, the speed will increase. Majority of people who are pre-diabetic, 3 years, if they don't do anything, they usually convert. And if they convert, then in about 4 to 5 years afterward, then some of the symptoms will start coming. What are the symptoms? Many of them will start getting glaucoma, cataract, the pancreas is not functioning that well, and worse that if you start getting moving, the nerve damage is not going to come, because majority of the people, when your blood clotting, remember the one of the biggest blood clot everywhere in the whole body, nerve damage is a major issue. You will start feeling, well, I can't feel certain things, like the leg is not as sensitive. Your blood pressure also goes up, and then the vessels are damaged because they're forming plaque everywhere. Now, when that happens, is you injure your foot, you know what? They won't heal, and it won't heal. You're gonna end up gangrene, and you got a foot chop up. If worse, that as time goes on, matter of fact, 70% of the diabetic patient usually have some form of diabetic nephropathy. In other words, the kidney start damaging, and you really got to hold that. If your kidney only gets 30% function, you're going to end up with dialysis, and that will be terrible for any patient. So I don't want you to be in that boat. So you really want to control that. Worse, that a lot of people will get eventually don't do well. They got stroke, and they got memory loss, and then there's risk of heart disease, and that will be even very, very big, medical expenses. So all in all, I hope we don't end up will be more and more of our patients do not control end up into that stage. Certainly 30% of the patient who have nerve damage also affect the sexual function because of the fact they can feel. And then many of the pregnant women who are pregnancy, they have a gestation diabetic, and eventually if they don't watch, they might also convert to diabetes. So all these really, if you can able to alert yourself, you can prevent all the expensive health, and you will be much better. Wouldn't be that would be nice? And I hope that will be my job, which should provide this information to help. For example, I have a lady who came in and from 53, she was diabetic, now 67. Her kidney function only remain now 40%. And she will be continue at 40% now because she knows how to control. If you got to 30%, she'll end up with dialysis. So that will be terrible. So she's tremendous appreciative to say, wow, I now have Lowsutea to help me to maintain myself 40%. And not only that, she also, because of her control now, she feel healthier, she have lose some weight, she have blood sugar continue maintain below 7, about 6 point something. And on top of that, she is also much healthier, and her kidney are maintained at 40%. And so net result, she would not end up dialysis, whatever. So this is hope that we are able to do that for you, to learn a little bit more and better control. 嗱，各位堂友，好可惜咧，如果你係唔去控制你嘅糖咧，其實有好多叫併發症出現咧，就係呢個出現係可能係3至5年後或者10年裏邊咧開始慢慢去出現嘅。併發症好多人咧就第一會有個白內障啦，有個青光眼啦。同埋咧，最多人好快脆有感覺咧，就係個神經系統損壞啦，咁佢冇得 feel 啦，血壓高啦，同埋呢個血管係開始硬化啦，好多 plaque form 咗啦。咁其實咧，當呢啲嘢開始發生嘅時候咧，個問題咧就係嗰啲人咧就會係有第一可能會中風啦，因為佢血壓 damage 啊嘛，咁同埋有心臟病啦。同埋腎嘅衰退啦，即係呢個腎唔會 work 啦。咁呢個咧係全部係一啲好嚴重嘅東西出緊現喎。咁同埋仲有咧30%嘅病人咧係都冇性功能，個原因就係因為佢冇感覺。OK， 咁同埋仲有呢個懷孕嘅併發症啦，呢個 gestation diabetes 亦都係出現嘅。嗱，仲有一個好大問題咧，好多人咧開始到老一啲嗰啲啊，開始唔記得嘢，因為個腦係咁塞咧，塞下咧個腦開始唔記得嘢。所以我記得有時啲老婆婆問你食咗飯未，想係10幾20次，同一問題，個原因就係因為嗰啲腦細胞已經塞得好緊要，所以好多時係唔知道，即係唔知道你講嘅情況係乜，所以變咗嚟講咧係有好多不同嘅問題咧出咗現嘅，所以咧併發症咧係唔會即刻出嚟，亦都前期患病者未必睇到任何嘅控制，有可能有咧就皮膚乾啊啲東西，咁嗰陣時咧。你睇到一啲係細，但係現在一過咗糖尿病咧，一路嗰啲慢慢出嚟㗎啦。所以變咗嚟咧，希望咧，如果你係控制到咧，咁最低限度咧，你係少咗好多病嘅毛病啦。咁我哋公司咧，其實咧就會有5個 program 咧係 一路每個禮拜係教你東西嘅。第一係飲食嘅習慣啦，改變咧，有 lifestyle 改變裏邊有飲食啦，點樣控制你嘅 low 即係低碳水化合物啦，同埋飲去糖茶啦，同埋食啲少肥嘅東西啦，教你點去 exercise 啦，點去運動啦，亦都能夠幫助你降低個磅數啦，同埋仲有點去度血啦，就係你嘅血糖啦，同埋醫生嘅講座咧，或者我哋依家現在嘅講座咧，係幫助你更加了解 diabetic 糖尿病同埋前期患病嘅 management。嗱 ，so 當希望咧，我哋有啲人又係 A1C 係10以上，可以跌翻去5.7，或者係6.4以上，未到過6.5咧，亦都係跌翻去5.7嘅。咁呢個就係我哋希望嘅，我哋嘅目標啦。OK， so you know our company objective is we have 5 programs help our pre-diabetic and diabetic client to better understand and manage their own issues of diabetes or pre-diabetic, so they can better control basically diet, how to get better low carb diet, how to better control blood sugar, cholesterol, and then how to exercise, get more than 10,000 steps, control weight control, doctor webinar, and on that also how to measure blood sugar. So hopefully through this process, you will know what to do, and that result you will able to help your A1C from 10 up or above, doesn't matter, and you drop it down to below 6.4 and below. If you're pre-diabetic, you're 6.4 and drop it down to 5.7. So net result, you will continue to be healthy throughout your life without higher A1C than more than 6.4. Hey, I think we did our job to help you lower your cost of medical expenses, and also you can be healthy, enjoy your grandchildren, your friend, and life without paying expensive medical expenses, and you can be healthy. Why not, right? So you can do it. I'm sure many of our clients also have the same. I have many clients, so they're really happy understanding what to do, and also continue to motivated to get doing better. So today we are going to talk about drinking coffee, why it can affect your blood sugar. So you have a better understanding in a sense that if you drink coffee, does it really affect your blood sugar? I can tell you it is. Now, I know many individuals, they say, I need my coffee, because not only drinking coffee is important, because I drink coffee, it can maintain me waking up, it's a perk for me. But on the other hand, if you're normal, yes, absolutely, you can drink your healthy, drink your coffee will not affect your blood sugar. However, you are type 2 diabetic, or you are already pre-diabetic, that is a different story, because the study shows that if you drink coffee, if you have type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic, it does actually affect your blood sugar, because you, as a pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, you responded caffeine differently from the normal person. And the study say if you drink 250 milligrams of caffeine, meaning it's only 2 cups of coffee, your insulin can go up as much as 8% for the day, and versus you don't drink any coffee. So in other words, you make it a little harder for yourself if you drink coffee and your blood sugar increase 8% higher. Man, that is something that you might need to consider, whether you want to continue to drink coffee or have a different substitute. So this webinar is to help you to better understand how coffee caffeine affect your blood sugar, and why it is, and why it is also increase your insulin level, and how can you avoid this increased spike if you drinking coffee, not to drink coffee, or what alternative not to get your blood spiking up. Okay, so this is what we do in this webinar today. 各位朋友嗱，記住咧，就係因為咧我哋咧當你飲咖啡嘅時候咧，sorry， 因為好多人咧飲咗咖啡咧就會覺得我會提神啦，又會好啦， 好啦。咁但係咧，一般人飲咗之後咧，其實個問題咧，如果你普通人飲咖啡咧，係唔會對啲糖咧上升嘅。但係如果你係糖尿患病者、二期糖尿患病者，或者話已經前期患病者，咁呢個飲法咧有少唔同。飲咗咖啡之後咧，譬如飲2杯咖啡咁簡單咧，你嘅糖咧係會增加咗8% 一日 ，versus 嗰啲人冇飲咖啡嘅。所以變咗嚟講，因為我係糖尿患病者或者係呢個第二型嘅糖尿病者同埋個前期患病者對咖啡嘅嘅反應，對身體嘅反應係有唔同嘅。咁所以今日講咗咧，就係希望能夠令到咧你哋各位朋友係飲咖啡係糖尿病或者前期患病咧，有咩其他選擇，或者點能夠控制到你呢個係唔會俾啲糖上升啦。變咗你更加少咗一樣嘢去擔心咧，去糖嘅控制。Okay, so really at the end of the day, why coffee caffeine really affect your insulin and your blood sugar? Okay, and you might ask, oh gee, yeah, why my blood sugar goes up? Well, as you know, coffee is actually affect, first of all, coffee has caffeine. And the caffeine actually allow the sugar to really, your body will not basically allow the sugar to go into the cells to basically to get you to get more energy. Okay, that's the major issue. Now, the reason why I do that is the caffeine don't allow the sugar to go into the cell is because when you are stressed, you want to have more sugar. The body will say, tell to us, we have to be more sugar, ready to fight, ready to do work. So really, they don't allow the sugar enter the cell to make sure give you more ready for more energy for you to fight, right? Okay. So it does affect your sugar entering the cells, and that is the major problem. Now, also when caffeine, it also increased a stress chemical called epinephrine or adrenaline. So they will stop the sugar, they will stop the body to process the sugar. So that way you have more sugar ready for fight. And the body will also produce more insulin. And so they will figure, wow, I need more insulin to come out to help you to get more energy into the body, so you have more energy, so ready for fight. However, your body is resistant to the sugar, so it really doesn't work. So the sugar continually goes up, the insulin doesn't work that well, and it also the caffeine affected your sugar entering the cell. So now then at the end of the day, your sugar will continue goes up. So your blood sugar goes up, but it's not working as a normal person does, taking sugar into the cell, get more energy to fight. But it doesn't work that way. So this is the whole issue of the caffeine. I hope that you make sure you understand that. Because the caffeine, first of all, it affects the sugar entering the cell because of the fact that they want you, they were intended to get sugar into the cell to get you fight. But on the other hand, it affected the insulin working. So that way, more insulin comes out, but the sugar are not going to the cell. And more sugar comes out because they want more energy, but it's not working the same way because type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic, okay? So net result, your sugar will continue goes up, your caffeine is affected, your blood sugar will become 8% more in a day. I think that is the issue that I will hope that you guys can understand why caffeine is really not very good for type 2 diabetic. Now, another thing too, when you are trying to drink coffee, the reason is you want to keep what? You want to keep yourself awake, so you sleep less. So when you don't sleep well, you also increase, it really keep you stressed out. So when you wake up, your insulin also being screwed up in that sense. So net result, you also not able to use your insulin as well to make your coffee, make your insulin works effectively. So net result, overall, your insulin and your blood sugar are no longer worked as well, and your blood sugar continue goes up, but the insulin also continue to go up. But on the other hand, it is not effectively moving the sugar into the cell. So net result, caffeine really affected your whole body with 8% more higher sugar increase. 各位朋友，因為你飲咖啡嘅時候咧，有一樣嘢點解會影響你血糖咧？第一，咖啡咧對身體咧，第一係會影響到你個糖進入個細胞裏邊嘅。個原因咧就係因為你係準備，因為你要點解要 awake 啊？點樣做多啲嘢？你係好似準備打仗一樣。咁個身體就話：喂，我要加啲糖準備你打仗喎。咁佢就唔俾啲糖咧係進入你個細胞裏邊。咁你有好多糖喺身體裏邊咧走嚟走去，準備你打仗。咁啲糖已經高 up 啦，係咪？咁同埋仲有咧，咖啡咧係會影響嗰個身體嘅呢個stress 呢個你會覺得哇！我依家要準備打仗，咁我一定會有好多哇準備打仗個 stress。咁打仗嘅 stress 之後咧，咁佢就 form 咗一樣嘢咧，叫 epinephrine 同埋 adrenaline 呢個荷爾蒙出嚟咧，係會將啲糖唔好俾佢process 放翻入去嗰個細胞裏邊，因為佢準備打仗啊嘛。咁我咪要加啲糖喺度啦。咁因為咁嘅情況下咧，咁你胰島素又上咗嚟啦，你個血糖又會上嚟啦。兩樣上晒嚟嘅時候，咁你血糖一定高咗啦。咁其實咧，咖啡尤其是你唔瞓覺嘅時候，同樣嘅一樣，因為你會 stress 一樣做嗰啲東西。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，飲咖啡裏邊嘅咖啡因係會影響咗你個糖上升。個原因就係因為你會開始有感受，哇！我準備打仗我 stress 啦，咁我一定要整咪多啲糖喺度。咁糖喺度嘅時候咧，又唔帶翻啲糖入去個細胞裏邊，咁你血糖咧係咁高嘅。咁呢個係最大嘅問題。So I hope you understand the reason when you have caffeine in your body, it actually increase your blood sugar go up, your insulin also go up. But on the other hand, because caffeine affects your insulin, so your body is not processing sugar because they get your sugar ready for you to fight. So net result, you are not able to really at the end of the day give you to be having more effectively using your sugar into the cells. Okay. Now, also caffeine might lower your insulin sensitivity because when you have lower insulin sensitivity, then no more sugar will go in to the cell because the insulin is not as sensitive anymore. So net result, when you have type 2 diabetic, the insulin are no longer responsive as like the one, you have no diabetes. More sugar are in the bloodstream and the insulin is not sensitive. It doesn't take sugar into the cells. So net result, your blood sugar continue goes up because caffeine is lower your insulin sensitivity. Okay, so that is again a second point which you got to remember. If you drink a lot of caffeine, coffee, it does actually lower the insulin sensitivity. It's not increased sensitivity now. This is lower sensitivity. So when you lower insulin sensitivity, the sugar will not go into the cells. Okay. So that result, what happened? Your blood sugar will goes up. And then the sad part is, since the blood sugar goes up, it's not getting there, but the cells say, hey, I'm still starving. I don't have enough sugar. Then the body will come out more insulin especially after meal with more insulin. So two things goes up, but it's not the cells getting the energy. So the caffeine increase the insulin sensitivity, lower the sensitivity so the cell doesn't go in, and the body will say, I need more sugar because my cell's not getting it. The body will pump up more insulin, but it doesn't work. So you see the whole issue that come along. So if you have high blood sugar, especially after meal, you continue to increase the insulin goes up, but is not processing the sugar into the cells. So if you have long-term continue to do that, then this now become a risk because now you're going to develop more potential accumulative of issues of the consequences of develop of diabetic complication, such as like nerve damage, heart disease, and eyes issue, impair of your kidney disease. So net result, all the other future health issue eventually shows up. Not immediately, but eventually, like 2-3 years later, if you every day do this for 5 years, eventually it shows up. So net result, if you continue to drink caffeine every day, I drink 5-6 cups of coffee, then you are really actually setting your stage for future diabetic complication for your type 2 diabetic, or if you are pre-diabetic, you also set yourself up for that potential complication. So that is something that why I want to make sure you have this opportunity to listen to this lecture so you have a better understanding why caffeine might not be best for you if you are type 2 diabetic or if you are pre-diabetic. 嗱，各位朋友或者前期患病者朋友，我哋其實如果飲咖啡會有咖啡因裏邊嗰啲咖啡咧，其實第一樣嘢咧，佢降低咗胰島素敏感度。嗱，如果降低咗胰島素敏感度有咩問題咧？咁第一，佢唔會帶啲糖入翻去個細胞裏邊。嗱，胰島素計出嚟喎，但係個問題嗰啲糖唔帶翻佢入去細胞裏邊，咁啲糖喺個血管裏一路咁高啦，咁咪呢個咪好大問題咯。因為你血糖高嘅時候，你度嘅時候，喂點解咁高嘅？咁其實但係個問題就係因為你唔夠胰島素帶翻啲糖入去個細胞裏邊，因為你咖啡係影響咗個胰島素嘅敏感度，呢個第一點。OK， 咁第二點啦，你就係嗰啲糖繼續上升喎，咁但係你繼續飲咗好多嘅咖啡因嘅時候，咁個糖繼續係將個胰島素一路係咁上升，但係個身體亦都做唔到幫啲糖入去細胞，咁啊血糖喺度高咯喎。咁如果你長期係咁做嘅時候咧，譬如喺5-6杯咖啡，我繼續啲糖呢個計高，咁但係咧你就會繼續係將你自己個身體咧容易咧喺個 risk 嗰度咧喺個產生呢個風險咧就係將你個你個後患症咧係出現啦。因為如果你繼續將糖整高咗，你又唔只有降低佢咧，咁你可能有心臟病啦、眼嘅問題啦、血管嘅損壞嘅問題啦，同埋咧你有呢個神經系統嘅損壞啦，咁好多問題會出現嘅。所以變咗飲咖啡會咖啡因嘅咖啡咧，未必一個係好選擇對你嚟講飲嘢嚟講。So the next question you may ask, well, how much caffeine will affect my blood sugar? Okay, and how much should I drink every day? I gotta have my cup of coffee. Okay, now according to study, if you drink 200 milligram caffeine, it will be actually affected your blood sugar already. So that's been 1 to 2 cups of brew coffee or 3 to 4 cups of black coffee, which will be equivalent to 200 milligrams of caffeine. Now, certainly, it's really dependent on the individual because some will affect caffeine much more, some will be less, and also age your weight. And so that will be definitely will be responsive to the individual. Now, also, some people also can develop caffeine tolerance. In other words, I drank 1 cup of coffee, it doesn't affect me. But if I drink 3 to 4 cups, then affect me. But 1 cup, I already have my tolerance, so I will not be spiked. So really, at the end of the day, you really have to measure yourself. If you have an Abbott-Libby or some kind of blood sugar monitoring to stick your finger, you can check your blood sugar 4 to 6 times a day to observe when you drink coffee, what your blood sugar goes up or not. If you can check that, like if you have an Abbott-Libby, usually 6 to 8 times, and you can compare the day you drink coffee and the day not drink coffee, you can actually say, wow, okay, if I drink 1 cup, not much issue. 2 to 3 cups, yes, it's not coming. 4 to 5 cups, real issue. So it will be really important to determine whether caffeine affects you. You really have to take your blood sugar to another account. I have quite a few present clients who has the Abbott-Libby units, and they are actually doing this, and they see themselves drinking 1 cup of coffee usually don't increase that much. But if they don't drink, if they do not, if they drink much more, they tend to have like 2-3 cups, they tend to have effect. So net result, I concluded, and I think a lot of research concluded, you really have to test yourself to see whether your blood sugar are affected. Now, more important, after you drink the coffee to wake yourself up 1 cup, you really have to drink, your Lowsutea to measure yourself again to see the difference. Drinking Lowsutea with coffee, what's the effect? They also found after drink Lowsutea, they tend to have lower blood sugar than just drink coffee by itself. So Lowsutea definitely, in that case, it helps you to lower your blood sugar. So important is really measure yourself. If you are picking your finger or using an Abbott-Libby, something like that unit, and if you can do that, that would be wonderful, because then that way you understand how coffee affect your blood sugar. 嗱，各位同學，你會問啦，喂，飲幾多咖啡先會影響自己血糖啊？嗱，因為咧佢哋做嘅 research 咧就知道咧，如果你飲250個 milligram 嘅咖啡 ，which is 大概1-2級2杯咁上下啦，或者3至4杯嘅 black 黑咖啡啦，咁就大概200個 milligram of caffeine 嘅。咁但係好多時咧就係要你睇下你個係咪你個年齡啊、磅數啊，同埋你每個人對咖啡影響咧係有少唔同嘅，同埋仲有咧咖啡咧有啲人係會亦都受到一個叫做 tolerance， 即係話我已經習慣咗啦，咁我個影響力咧亦都唔係咁多嘅。咁大多數人咧，如果係飲咖啡嘅時候咧，如果你度下糖咧，就會知道，哇！我依個咖啡因係令到我要糖嘅上升有幾多咧？咁其實咧，原來咧好多係有呢個 Abbott-Libby 呢個東西，即係呢個度糖嘅機器啦。咁或者篤手指啦，如果篤4次一日篤4次嘅話，佢就已經知道嗰日咧，如果飲咗咖啡有咩影響嘅。咁其實翻嚟咧，好多人咧飲一杯咖啡，1杯有得講，就影響唔係好大。但係當你2杯、3杯、4杯咧，開始就見到有效果，影響個血糖上升啦。咁好重要咧，就一樣嘢係咩咧？好重要咧，其實咧仲喺度飲埋去糖茶，飲咗嗰杯咖啡飲去啦。如果因為飲咗去糖茶嘢飲夠咧 ，you know what， 個 blood sugar 唔會上升好高嘅。咁變咗嚟講咧，就亦都係有幫助咧，係能夠降低你譬如一個人，我真係飲杯咖啡我先得嘅，如果唔係咧，我會好攰啊咁。咁但係飲杯咖啡，然後只係飲去糖茶，咁你就可能㗎令到咧個身體唔高，即係個身體個 sugar spike 唔高。 So really at the end of the day, is really very much individualized to see whether your blood sugar will ever goes up after drinking caffeine. You have to actually do some blood testing and investigation. If your blood sugar actually goes up because of the fact that you drink 1 cup of coffee or nothing much happened, but 2 to 3 cup is really goes up, then maybe you should limit yourself, only drink 1 cup, and then hopefully as time goes on, you might have some tolerance. It doesn't affect as much caffeine. So 1 cup coffee, no problem. At the same time, we also found out after drinking a cup of coffee, you also drink what? Lowsutea. After drinking Lowsutea, the blood sugar also lower because of the effect of Lowsutea, as we mentioned earlier. Then you can actually get a much better result and still enjoy my cup of coffee. And I have Lowsutea also decrease my blood sugar, cholesterol, and my blood pressure. Wow, you probably have a much more enjoyment of the beverages and also not to spike your blood sugar. So the solution is that when you drink coffee with caffeine, but I really like my coffee, I like more than 2 cups, what do I do? So in the morning, maybe what you can do is you can do 1 cup of coffee with caffeine. The second cup is what? Decaffeinated coffee. Or total switch to decaffeinated coffee, you can still have to enjoy the aroma, caffeine, coffee, and still enjoy that. So that is a couple choices you can check and make sure to take your blood sugar to check it out whether that's really the case. So if you drink 1 cup of coffee with caffeine and the next cup of decaffeinated or few cups is still caffeinated, you don't have caffeine, your blood sugar maintain a very good stable range and no spike. At the same time, you also drink 2 cups of Lowsutea following after the coffee. So your day continue to drink Lowsutea, your blood sugar do not spike. That will be probably a very good solution for you. For people who love coffee, and I do love coffee because every day I drink 1 cup of coffee only. I don't drink 2 cups. And that cup of coffee helped me to kind of kick me up. But after that, I drink about 2 cups of Lowsutea and my blood sugar is in good stage, okay? So these are the things that maybe is a good solution for you, especially if you want to really make yourself have coffee, enjoy coffee at the same time, you don't spike your blood sugar. 咁其實老實講，有咩方案？我好中意咖啡，但係我唔想將個糖降上升嘅，咁有咩做咧？好簡單。第一，你可以飲1杯咖啡，有咖啡因嘅咖啡。第2杯飲 decaf， 即係冇咖啡嘅咖啡。咁你咪可能夠享受咖啡嘅靚咖啡嘅味道，但係就唔會影響血糖啦。嗱，另外一樣嘢，你就飲完之後咧，再飲多2杯嘅去糖茶。咁亦都係可以解決到呢個問題，將你血糖咧係控制到咧一個 average 啲嘅唔會上升嘅血糖，咁變咗冇個 spike 嘅，最緊要冇個上升咗。咁呢個係一個對你降低血糖水平嘅一個健康嘅方案。咁最好咧就每日繼續飲咗1杯咖啡後，之後就可以飲 decaf 啦，然後繼續咧就飲去糖茶2杯，然後以後都係飲去糖茶咧，會有一個好大嘅幫助啦。OK。So will be a good solution is drink your cup of coffee, 1 coffee with caffeine, or switch after that to decaf or strictly on decaf. And then after that, still drink 2 cups of Lowsutea, eliminate the caffeine with the sugar spike. That will be very helpful. So today in summary, many people enjoy coffee, which will brighten up themselves, a typical person really have no problem. But as a diabetic or pre-diabetic, if you continue to do that, might have some difficulty for you. The reason is because when you drink coffee, it will decrease the sensitivities of the insulin, and then the blood will continue to stay in the vessels ready for you to walk or ready for you to do things. So your blood sugar will go up, and net result, you will have sugar spike. So you want to really eliminate that because caffeine really inhibited the sugar metabolism in the cells, and it also raised stress because of the epinephrine. So caffeine also continue to keep you awake sometimes, and so you will get more stress, more sugar in the cells to prepare for you to war. So net result, your blood sugar continue goes up. If you continue goes up persistently for years to come, you might end up with be all sort of potential diabetic risk, which is damage your blood sugar vessels, your heart disease, your eye disease, your kidney disease. All those things can be potential damage your body, which you want to prevent. And according to study, you drink 200 milligrams of caffeine will actually impact your blood sugar and potentially goes spike. So 200 milligrams equivalent to 1 cup of coffee, no, actually about 2 cups of coffee, or 2-3 cups of black coffee, or 2-3-4 cups of black coffee. So maybe you need to think about, can I do just only 1 cup, or just switch everything to decaf? And then after that, after 1 cup of coffee, you drink 2 cups of Lowsutea, so you can balance off with the 2 cups of Lowsutea and not getting your sugar spike. So hopefully that will be a solution for you, and also provide you a good way to enjoy your breakfast. At the same time, you can enjoy your cup of coffee. And that's what we're trying to do today. I hope that will give you this overall solution about coffee and sugar, okay? Your blood sugar. 各位朋友，我知每一個人咧都希望話飲杯咖啡提神啦，或者係 enjoy 你個享受呢杯咖啡嘅 aroma 啦。咁但係如果你係糖尿病者或者前期患病者，呢個咧會係一個長遠嘅東西，係一個問題出現嘅。因為點解咧？咖啡咧係將你嗰啲糖咧唔會將佢放翻落去個細胞裏邊，因為咖啡裏邊有咖啡因，佢就 affect 咗個嗰啲 insulin 就會唔會令到佢更加敏感，係 decrease 咗敏感。同埋仲有咧，當你飲咖啡嘅時候咧，係會 increase 咗個 stress 即係你會有一個stress 咧，咁你個糖咧就會繼續咧喺個血管度游嚟游去，因為佢係準備去打仗嘛，你跌落去糖咁樣，但係佢又帶咗入去細胞裏邊啊，咁啲糖越整越高，咁啊變咗身體就唔好啦。如果你長遠咁做咧，就會令到你好多不同嘅併發症啦，好似係 nerve damage 啊，呢個神經系統損壞啦，心臟病眼嘅問題或者腦嘅神經系統損壞啊，咁呢樣嘢咧係希望我哋能夠用每一個方法咧降低我哋嘅即係身體嘅風險嘅。咁照所有嘅 study 知道咧，如果飲200個 milligram 嘅咖啡嘅活咖啡因，即係大概2杯至3-4杯嘅咖啡咧，咁就已經有呢個咁嘅 potential 嘅效果㗎啦，即係會 increase 咗你個 risk 啦，啲糖唔入去個細胞裏邊啦。咁所以其實咧係咪可能夠朝頭早咧用 decaf 咖啡咧，即係冇咖啡因咖啡嚟飲啦，或者係飲咗之後咧，或者飲一杯咖啡之後咧，如果你有可能夠 tolerate 咗嘅，咁你可能夠飲去糖茶2杯咧，咁你亦都可以或者做到呢個方案咧，令到血糖唔會上高。其實最重要就係我哋唔可以俾血糖上升，咁就係呢個我哋所愛嘅東西。雖然我哋係好有希望飲啲嘢能夠對自己更加好飲嘅，但係呢樣嘢亦都希望能夠幫到我哋咧，繼續控制血糖，唔好俾佢上升。So today I hope the webinar provide everybody a better understanding. Anything we do, no matter what we do, eating, drinking, whatever, what we'll try to do is decrease our blood sugar. Don't let them go up. And so net result, we will not continue to have sugar in the bloodstream. I'll continue mixing up cholesterol, blocking everywhere of the body. So net result, you will end up in long term, you have all kind of diabetic complications. If we can understand that, you will we link up all the line and say, wow, that's right. I really do not want to eat a lot of sweet, for example. Why? Because it converts to carbs, and then blood sugar will goes up, and in that case, end up will continue to plug up all my blood vessels, If I can able to understand the same thing, caffeine, the same thing, so I will able to better manage my diabetes, and I will be a smart manager of diabetic, and that result, as we move on, we can be healthy, enjoy our grandchildren, enjoy our lifestyle, and be a healthy person as a diabetic or pre-diabetic, or even you are diabetic, you can reverse yourself to a pre-diabetic stage. Isn't that will be wonderful? So that's what I'm trying to do today. I hope that everybody's okay. Does anybody have any questions? I would love to answer any question you have. I'll help you out, see whether you have any, more questions to answer, or you want to ask any question. We could help you to better understanding. I appreciate all the people from all over the world, like Gordon, Wason, many people from Philippines, also Singapore, and also United States, Canada. In this busy weekend, they can able to still spend some time, learn a little more of diabetic management. And thank you again. Is there any question? Okay, if there are no questions, I will appreciate that you already, let's see, oh, that's much. Okay, one of the questions is how much variety of nuts and amount you can eat, okay? Okay, that's a very good question, Gordon. Basically, as you know, if you are pre-diabetic, diabetic, you really good to eat a snack, not really spike up your blood sugar. And that is a very good way to do. The reason is because the worst thing you do snack is like I eat chips, potato chips, because of carbs, salt, and other things that oil, cholesterol, not good for you. So we found, and I do the same, almond nuts become a good choice of your snack. And usually, if I do need to have that urge to snack, half a cup, about 10, 15 max of almond nuts will help you to satisfy your snack requirement. So nuts, I would highly suggest unsalted now, not salted, unsalted almond nuts to provide yourself a snack. Now, also people say, wow, I like almond nuts, but I like a little bit more. Well, you can put couple pieces of dry berries, can do that too, to give you just a little bit variety of taste. But on the hand with that, your calorie of these nuts is not that high, plus it doesn't have the carbs that will hurt you. So the nuts highly suggest is almond nuts to help you out. I hope I can answer Gordon's questions. And I do that myself all the time. At nighttime, I do almond nuts, or lunchtime also. Another thing that will be a good snack is actually celery. Celery, you cut up the celery, small piece. And why celery is good? Because of low carbs, plus it's a lot of fibers. So it help you on, get you satisfied or something to chew on, watching TV, whatever. And also, especially you chop this up a lot, prepare in a small plastic box with all the celery in there. And you can able to eat, chew on, have some snack satisfaction. That will be another very good choice besides your nut, because you cannot eat everyday nuts, right? In case you want to eat something different. So I would suggest that will be another good choice for you. So try that and see it will help or not. 各位朋友，阿Gordon問咗一個好嘅問題啦，就話如果我食 nuts 係食咩 nuts 好咧？食幾多好咧？咁其實咧 almond 咧杏仁 nuts 啊，唔愛鹽嘅杏仁粒喎，就會係好嘅，對你係一個好大幫助。咁食幾多好啊？10至15粒咧已經好夠㗎啦。OK， 咁多數咧食呢樣嘢咧，你唔會 increase 你個 carbs 高啦，同埋咧亦都係可能夠 satisfy 到你嘅東西啦。 咁可能你或者擺1、2粒嘅berry 啦，咁樣等你有少味道喺裏邊咧，更加理想啲。咁呢個係 up to 你嘅啫。咁仲有一樣嘢，有個 snack 會好咧，就係嗰個芹菜啊。你一條條嘅芹菜細咁大條啦，咁你就可以擺喺個雪櫃裏邊，切好咗，要得閒出嚟食嘅時候會好，因為芹菜裏邊有咩啊？有 fibre， 有纖維，咁食咧又好嚼，咁啊 very good 啦。So it's good to drink 呢樣嘢咧，食呢樣嘢咧，會對你身體係十分健康嘅。Okay, so there's another question. You have women with gestation diabetic, pre-diabetic drink tea and control their blood sugar. Our goal is patient with pregnancy. Okay. Teresa is a good question. Do I have women who are gestation diabetic? Yes. We have a lot of ladies who are gestation diabetic and drink Lowsutea. And they really felt that because, don't forget, Lowsutea is not a drug. It's only a tea. And basically help them to improve is increase the insulin sensitivity and blocking or delayed absorption sugar into the blood vessels. So net result, overall result is to lower the blood sugar and also dump sugar out through urine and cholesterol and salt. So net result, we have a lot of women who have in gestation diabetic, drinking Lowsutea instead of drinking water. It definitely helped them to lower the blood sugar. After pregnancy, they continue to drink Lowsutea. Actually, continue to drink Lowsutea actually help them to prevent future diabetes. Now, are you being successful in that? It's also pending on you. Are you able to control your diet, your exercise, and your weight? Now, we have a person which we have talked a lot about, and she's a very good users of ours. Her name is Faye, and she has been gestation diabetic for 20 years. And her blood sugar is very, very high along the way. But because all along she's now drinking Lowsutea for 6 months, all the way to now a few years, couple years now, her blood sugar used to be very high, and she had been taking metformins with, 2,000 milligrams. Now the doctor, because she got down to no normal, the doctor gave her only 500 milligrams per day. So it definitely helped them as gestation diabetic to get them to be normal. So really, at the end of the day, Lowsutea can definitely help people who are pregnant, gestation diabetic, and or pre-diabetic. Drinking Lowsutea does actually help them with the blood sugar, and also especially if they want her blood sugar lie between about 120, actually that will work. Okay. Teresa 問咗一個好嘅 question。如果我係依家已經懷孕嘅，咁我係咪可以繼續飲去糖茶啊？個 answer 咧係 OK 嘅。個原因係咩？去糖茶唔係藥嚟嘅，係一個茶嚟嘅，即係一個飲品嚟嘅啫。咁但係呢個飲品有好特別功效咧，就係能夠將你個糖係減低delay 咗佢入去血管裏邊啦。第二樣嘢咧，佢將個糖咧 increase 咗你個胰島素嘅敏感度啦，帶啲糖入翻細胞裏，咁用咗啲糖啦。如果 excess 嘅就喺個尿度個掉出嚟啦。咁如果係亦都將糖 cholesterol 膽固醇同埋呢個鹽咧掉出嚟嘅時候，咁你整體咧你個糖就會降低咯，就會降低 maybe as low as 120以下啦。咁好事嚟嘅喎，係咪？咁你就會去小便多啲嘅，記住。咁變咗嚟講咧，你亦都可以減低你個糖尿病將來嘅風險。所以咧，其實當你懷孕後咧，你亦都要係喺你嘅控制嘅 diet 裏邊啦，或者你嘅磅數裏邊啦，同埋你要做翻 exercise 啦。因為好多時咧，好多人咧懷孕後咧就會變成呢個 gestation diabetic， 因為佢已經係好肥胖啊，或者冇繼續控制咧，咁其實咧就將來咧 係會對佢真係會有一個糖尿患病個機會係高好多。有啲人係有呢個所謂叫做遺傳啦，咁呢個更加重要嘅。Okay? So really at the end of the day, if you are potentially gestation diabetic, you really can able to do with or you're pre-diabetic, you can really use Lowsutea to help you to control your blood sugar or lower your blood sugar. However, you still need to do work because you gotta control your diet, you gotta control your exercise, you gotta control your weight. So those are the things that will help you to improve your overall blood sugar. And as I mentioned, Faye was one of the very live example. A 20-year gestation diabetic, but now her blood sugar at normal. Doctor basically just to maintain just a 500 milligram metformin versus 2,000 milligram, and she is very happy. And she realized, matter of fact, we have a new video of interview her. She realized Lowsutea become a drinking product for her rest of her life. She think, and which is probably true. And she loved it to drink it cold or hot, doesn't matter. You can able to continue to drink Lowsutea to help to maintain a blood sugar. So thank you very much, Gordon and Teresa, for your questioning. I appreciate that. I really love these questions because it make our webinar a lot more interesting. And I appreciate all my friends who spend weekend here to listen together webinar. And I hope there's no more question. I will wish you all have a wonderful, holiday. And you have any questions, feel free to write to me. And this is my email address, ctt.com, and or write to me, andy@wafong.com. Love to answer your questions. And I know sometimes you just want to ask questions privately. You can love to do that. So do send me email. 各位朋友，我知道咧，好多人咧都想問一啲問題，或者更加係一啲問題想就即係寫個 email 過嚟啦。咁我哋可以寫 andy@wafong.com 咧，就你揾到我噶啦，或者揾 ctt@wafong.com 得嘅。最好就寫信俾我啦，咁我就一定會盡快去答你啲問題。OK， 或者打電話俾佢都得嘅，WhatsApp 3005644。3015644, or you can do WhatsApp to us. This is the WhatsApp number, and you can actually contact us. I know in the United States people do actually, if they're WhatsApp, they actually do contact us through the WhatsApp phone, and that will be also can do. Or people from Philippines, anywhere actually, really South Asia. So thank you again. I appreciate all your help, and I hope that you can able to continue live life with healthy, lower your blood sugar, continue throughout your life. And I think that will be really your very good choice from healthy. Thank you again. I appreciate. Have a nice weekend. Thank you again. You take care. Bye-bye.